Good day, everybody. This is IJ Warren, and I'm here to review the cybersecurity of everyday IT products. Today, we're going to be reviewing the iPhone SE. Came out brand new in 2020, and I came across the iPhone while shopping for phones for my daughter. And the iPhone SE came across because she wasn't using all the features of, or she wouldn't be using all the features of the latest and greatest iPhones. And I was on a bit of a budget, so I chose the iPhone SE, and that's really the market that it's going towards. The troubles I have with the phone that people are going to have with the phone is it is not the latest and greatest. And if you're okay with that, especially if you're not going to be using the latest and greatest features, fine. Go ahead, get the iPhone SE, because trust me, it is a great phone. The top benefits of the phone is the thing's got one of the latest and greatest processors that you can get on modern phones. It's not just better than every other budget phone on the market right now, like the Samsung A20 or the Google Pixel 3a, but it's also better than most flagship phones that you see in other companies as well, especially recently ones that came out in the past 3 years. And features that you're going to find on the phone, there's nothing big in terms of features for this phone specifically that's going to come across as better than the other competition. Again, it is the best budget phone you can find out there. And it's also got the Apple backing. And does it earn the Apple reputation? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no question to it. Would I purchase? Yeah, absolutely. I already purchased it. It's for my daughter. She's going to be using it. And maybe it'll be for my son after she's done using it. The market for this is specifically for people who are not going to be using all of the latest features that you see in the iPhone 10, iPhone 11, but still want an Apple product that they can afford. This is it. This is the Apple product you want if you're on a budget and you still want to use a lot of the awesome features that you have in the iPhone community. So now I'm going to give it the warning. For assurances, this is Apple. Apple is a top IT one of the top IT companies you can come across. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. They have money to back their product. No question. So if something goes wrong, they're going to be able to afford to fix it. For an origin score, I'm going to give the iPhone SE a 7 out of 10. It is domestically written. It is written by American programmers along with a lot of extra support from third-party vendors. But the thing that knocks it a little bit lower is the fact that there are a lot of parts being made overseas, specifically in nation states. And so that's a big concern. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for that reason. For version control, Apple is generally more transparent with what they're fixing and why they're fixing it. No question that they're good at transparency. Are they top of the line? No. I would put probably Microsoft at top of the line. And even them I wouldn't consider number one. But for version control, I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. Culture. Does Apple have a cybersecurity culture? Yes, absolutely they do. They have the Apple Security Bounty Program, where white hats and gray hat hackers can go ahead, submit a vulnerability to Apple, and Apple makes the promise of fixing it. Is this Apple Security Bounty Program perfect? No. I've posted this on Twitter. There are certain things that they don't recover from, that they don't assure, and it's very concerning. The fact that they're doing it, again, awesome. You're going to get over a 5 for that one. But the fact that the Browning program isn't the best out there, I'm going to have to dock points. So for that, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Feature controls. Again, like most phones, you can control airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, turn it on, turn it off, all that stuff. One of my favorite things about this is about the feature control is the fact that it has the Apple Store. And Apple, I think, does a better job from a security perspective of vetting products for security. Most cybersecurity experts prefer the Apple Store, and that's third-party products being vetted into the phone over the Google Play Store, because that's the number one competition. So for feature control, I'm going to give it, and again, for feature control, I'm looking at what features you can put on it, and also what features you can disable that are currently on it, out of the box. So for feature control,
Is it perfect? No. My biggest concern about feature control when it comes to the Apple iPhone SE is iCloud and other products that you can't disable. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Can they do better? Yes. Are they probably one of the best in the business? Yes. Can the business overall do better? Absolutely. I think there is a ceiling that neither company, that no phone company has hit yet. And so for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Is anybody going to beat them out? Probably not. Performance. Again, latest and greatest processor. Does it have 3 cameras? No. Do most people use all 3 cameras? No. At least, do they know how to use them? No. That's the more important question. So for performance, again, I've always noticed that Apple products are faster, smoother when it comes to closing applications, moving over again. And you can see this with other YouTube videos. People actually going over and looking at all the features. It is top of the line. Is it better than the iPhone 10 or 11? No. It's better than most competitors, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Authentication. There's nothing special about their authentication features for the iPhone SE. It's got fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, all the standard stuff you have, pins, patterns, however you want to authenticate with it, go ahead. Nothing special. They're not like setting a baseline way higher than anybody else. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Product support. Apple is top notch. They set the bar. And I can't see the bar going higher than what Apple has pushed it. Again, are there other companies that do it better or as good? Yeah, absolutely. I think there are other companies that do product support just as good as Google. Not Google, just as good as Apple. I think Google comes close. I think Amazon comes just as good as Apple. So for this, I don't see the bar going up higher, and for that reason, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
For the iPhone SE, chances of exploitation, the CO. This is, you really have to ask the question, what are the chances of somebody going after the iPhone and trying to hack it? And the chances are very high because this is one of the flagship phones out there for the industry. Apple has a lot of share in different companies, or has a lot of share in America, has a lot of share in internationally in terms of market share. So basically 1 out of every 4 or 1 out of every 2 phones you see out there at any given time is going to be an iPhone. So for that reason and that reason alone, hackers are going to be loving going after this phone because it's the most popular phone out there. There's nobody else out there that sells more phones than, there's no other manufacturer out there that sells more phones than Apple. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 because there's a lot of hackers going after this phone. Comar, the chances of a major attack recovery. Well, the interesting thing about this is that Apple has already suffered the most major attack you could possibly have with the iCloud attack that you had several years ago. So for that reason, I can't think of any other thing that could possibly be worse than that in the eyes of the industry and looking at vulnerability in Apple products. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. This gives it a final warning score of 72 out of 100. The bottom line about this phone is it's a great phone, great price, great support, and low risk. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy what you saw. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and put it down in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time. Have a good day.